coal and atomic energy cannot be used. Countries that focus on large shares of wind energy could not use coal and atomic power in the future because they don't match well in a supply system. So it has to be some kind of decentralized solutions, small-scale solutions that can respond very quickly. Or some of the storage systems that also can respond quickly. Next one. So just this point on hydrogen, which is mentioned quite often here. This is Ulrich Borstel that is showing this one. It's a graph telling that you start with 100, you have 24 left here as usable energy. If you liquefy the hydrogen, you even have only 19% left. So I think we should forget this about hydrogen. It's also very costly, but we have moderate losses, only 30% when you take it through the battery charging system. So this is why the electric car, the electric vehicle, electrical equipment using batteries has much better opportunities in terms of efficiency than the hydrogen-based have. There was a hydrogen wave some years ago. I think these figures here, well, I rely on what Boston is bringing here, but if you look at the various solutions, it is multiplying up here, and that brings these low efficiencies. Thank you. Okay, the next step, that is integration of wind and CHP. And next one. And we see here a map how this has been is today possible to do in Denmark. This is a map from 1985 where we see we have a few big power stations. This is 30 years, 25 years later, where we still have the big ones. But besides that, we have 3,000 wind turbines and we have 700 combined heat and power stations. This makes a change, and this means now we have a system where wind and the combined heat and power can be well combined. This would not have been possible at that time. Yeah. So countries that do not have a big share of combined heat and power do not have the opportunities to match wind and combined heat and power like we have in this system. This is also why I see that combined heat and power, combined heat and cooling is also a part of the solution for the future. Just take this one here. We see this is a conventional power station. Oh, next one. 100% fuel is fed into here. 40% goes to the grid, then it's a good system. And 60 goes here. The next one, 100 in here. And 40 goes here. And 60 goes to the heating, so it could be cooling also. And 10% goes here. This should be the standard everywhere. But our normal power systems are that way, and of course very primitive and are not belonging to future. But that's what's still being built most part of the world. But let's go to the next. And this is then with the district heating or district cooling, but just press. We see how the water flows to the houses and the water flows back, and it can be for cooling, it can be for heating. And in this way, we have a total of 85–90% efficiency in the system. 40% electricity, around 50% for heating and cooling. And now we come to the new point. What is new here is that when we have this surplus wind, is that we have to dispose of it in some way or another. And that is to supply that to this system here through an electric boiler, which is then through an heat exchanger delivering this to the heating system. And that means in the periods where there is no wind, when there is no wind, then this is running on the gas engine. You save your use of fossil fuels. But when you have the wind, this one takes over, and you can also fill up this big storage tank here, which is hot water. Hot water is the cheapest storage of all you can have. You cannot find a cheaper one. And you have a storage there for a couple of days, depending on the season or the year. Can be from 1 day up to 4 days. The equipment needed here is this electric boiler here. It's the cheapest of all ways you can convert to wind power. And here you see an example of the system here, because the new terminology we will be facing in the coming years. This this is power, no, just go. No, this is, we will need power balancing technologies, and this is for upregulating, no, please. We need for power upregulating and we need for power downregulating. When there's too much wind in the system, we need downregulating, and then we replace the fossil fuels. When we have too little wind, we need some cheap equipment with fast response time for upregulating. And for this we use, it can be diesel or that can be with gas engines, but like we heard in the presentation before, with high shares of wind, this will run less and less. If we increase the share of wind, this will be less and less needed. But it must be there because we cannot base the system on wind alone or solar alone. Well, this is a system we have at my center at home, where we have 3 sources for power. This is a wind turbine, it's solar, and this combined heat and power. And then we have solar, and we have combined heat and power, and wood pellet stove, and an electric boiler. In a normal system, we would just feed the power to the grid. And, but here in this case here, we have a power flow control. This means that we take the wind power through thermistors here to the electric boiler. This means we are not selling, we're not buying. And it's actually the same we saw in the bigger scale systems as well. In this system here, we have gone a step further, saying that wind and solar are the primary sources of heat and electricity, and biomass is used for backup. This means also that biomass, as we just discussed yesterday, should not be used when there's solar and wind, because solar and wind is in principle unlimited resources, whereas biomass will be limited. So the biomass in this case here also is storage item. Okay, then some few examples about this area with, the other one had half an hour. This is the history of this technology. This is just examples how we have these 100% supply at a local basis. Just continue. And this is what could be from anywhere, of course. And we just continue. And this is combined with industry. This is in the agriculture. Now we come to the combined heat and power. The examples of that, and I show a few pictures of that as well also. Very small ones. But the normal size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 megawatt. This is our standard size. And we see them here, very nice architecture in the middle of the city. This is called the cathedral. It is in a town in Denmark. And this is the system for this town. And it's another one, quite big one here, but still based on the same principle. This one we don't have time to discuss. So we just take the next one. And this system in the whole is not leading to high prices, on the contrary. This is the EU average, and this is the Danish, and this is the other countries here, which have the highest price in Europe. That's Ireland and Italy, which is using the old-fashioned conventional condensation steam generation technologies. Germany we have here. So this mixture of small-scale Eurocene we have got in Denmark has also resulted in low prices. This is in contrast what is often mentioned. Good, next one. Well, we have this local renewable, so we can just take the pictures very quickly. It is in this region here where we have obtained 100% supply. Come to next one.